Hey everybody, Bart here. I've been experimenting with multiple different cameras and uploading platforms, so I'm fine-tuning all the details of how to get these videos out. Today you'll get hit by a lot of videos. I first wanted to share just a simple workout. Now, I'm using simple very loosely because it's a complex workout, but it's just 4 movements. It's going to really help you just get mobile. It's going to work your trunk, it's going to work your core, and it's going to hopefully get you out of breath. Now, instead of doing an interval today, I'm going to do a number of repetitions, and I can do rounds of this. So I'm going to start with 2 rounds. You can always have 3 or 4, or you could just try 1, just to get your feet wet on some of these exercises. I'm first going to explain the exercises, then we're going to warm up, and then we're going to work out. So let's start with a simple warm-up, getting 10 arm circles forwards, stretching out the fingers, rocking the head side to side, get about 10 arm circles going backwards, and then we'll relax, shake it out. Let's get some wrist rolls. We won't work the wrists hard today, but they'll get some work. Stretch out the fingers. Let's work into our 10 HUD exercises, working on inhaling, pinching the shoulder blades together. Exhaling, bringing the forearms to touch or to the best of your ability. Let's inhale back through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Get 8 to 10 good repetitions. It's one of my favorite exercises. It really caught me off guard when I was introduced to it because I had so many shoulder injuries, and it's working the chest open that's good for my shoulder posture. Now, some of you might have overly tight chests, and we can do some back stretching, which we will. Let's shake it out. It's working to about 10 body weight squats, so sitting back over the heels. It doesn't have to be a deep squat. We hinge at the hips, put all the weight back into our heels. We'll start to coordinate with our breath, inhaling back, exhaling up. So we load the hips, we hinge, and then we stand. We keep the knees right over the ankles and behind the toes. You should feel like your weight tilt back, and then right as you get to that balancing point, you stand right back up. And if you need to have a chair behind you as a little kind of crash pad, go for it. All right, shake it out, shake it out. Working into a lunge calf and oblique stretch. I'm gonna step back, excuse me, pressing my right heel down. I'm going to take left hand to left thigh and reach right arm to the sky. Now with this lunge calf and oblique stretch, part of the midriff, I'm reaching length out of my fingertips. I'm driving my back heel towards the floor. I'm lunging forward with this left knee. Still breathing. It's tough to talk and breathe, so I'm not your best example for your breath. You are your best example for your breath. Shaking it out. Stepping back. Now I'm pushing into that left heel. I'm sending right knee forward. I'm taking right hand to right thigh. Reaching left arm to the sky, over the ear, opening up the armpit, getting into our lat, finding our breath. And I'll shake it out. All right, let's do some simple butt kicks. Get about 10 on each side. Starting to wake up our central nervous system, coordinating upper, lower, into breath. Shaking it out, starting to increase our ventilation. Let's get about 10 heel taps on each side. Now, if you notice my lower back, I'm not reaching down to the heel, I'm bringing the heel to me. My back stays tall, chest stays up. I'm working the hip. So if you can't reach it, that's fine. Practice getting more flexible in the hip. All right, shake it out. Now, if you're barefoot joining me, it's one of my favorite stretches, and it's tough. So you may want to have something to balance on. If you've never done this before, take it slow. I'm going to stretch my toes. So I'm pushing down on the top of the foot. I have a slight lean. So I'm stretching some of those really hard to reach carpal muscles in the foot. Just before the toe line. Now carefully I'm going to shake it out. Now I'm going to get that other side. And so you can see I'm trying to get my foot all the way down without tilting towards the big toe or away from the ankle. So straight under, like you got sucked into an escalator. Terrible thought, I know, but it does the job. And I get a slight lean, and I'll slowly work it out. Next I'll do some ankle circles, working my ankle joint, still breathing. Maybe I'm squeezing in my core, working dynamic ankle stability. All right, let's work that other side. Getting 5 to 10 good circles going one direction. We'll get about 5 to 10 circles going back the other direction. All right. Now from here, we'll work into a Romanian stretch where I'm pushing on my thighs, sending my hips back. I have a slight bend in the knees, but what I'm trying to do is get space in between my backbones, get a little taller, getting away from the hips. Then I'll stand up, pull my shoulders back a few times. And so with this one, I'm not going in a round, I'm actually going in an upside down V. The shoulders don't do a circle, they retract and protract. They shrug and they depress. All right, shaking it out. All right, so get all those easy to reach pops, cracks, and snaps out. Nothing too forceful. And so our exercises today are side lunges. We're gonna do a low weighted windmill, a plank tricep kickback, and a Russian twist. So you don't necessarily need any weights here. I'll show you where they're involved. So if I wanted to have a weight in my lunge, I'll hold it in a goblet style, or I can hold it end to end if it's only a 5-pounder. The heavier the weight, the bigger the end, so it's easier to hold like a goblet. Now you can hold a kettlebell like a goblet, or you can hold a kettlebell by the horn. Now with my side lunge, I'm gonna work over and over. Now I'm trying to stay in frame here, so a good long lunge might be a little bit bigger. However, as you can tell, this knee is slightly bent. That whole foot's down, my weight's back over my heel, my knee's behind the toes and over the ankle. So I can do all 10 lunges or side squats together, or if I have enough space and I'm not trying to stay in frame, I can walk to the side and out. I can even hold my position and bob and weave, shifting my hips. Now with the low weighted windmill, which you can skip the weight, I'll take a wide stance. I'm gonna take one arm to the sky, and I'm gonna turn my chest as I drop this hand. So I bend my knees, I hinge my hips. I might get this far down. I might get this far down. On the way back up, I'm pulling. I'm keeping my body turned to that side, and at the very top, I come around. A simple modification might just be simply a hand behind the back, working and looking, opening the trunk. But if the shoulder isn't real happy with this, and you have to keep it this position, you can always skip that portion. All right, now with the plank tricep kickback, this one's killer. We got a bunch of modifications. Our first modification is just doing a tabletop tricep kickback. So I'll lift the arm, I'll extend the elbow, and I'll keep the arm still. All I'm doing is extending the elbow. All the while, of course, breathing. If I want to do the full plank, I'll press up, and I'll do the exact same motion. And if I'm going to do the forearm plank, which is what I'm advocating for today, you can also do it from a modification. It'll be harder, or you could lift on up, which to me is the easiest. Now for our Russian twist, we can have feet together in a recline, crossed over, or it can be up. Now when I'm up, there's a little balance required. So I typically start everybody down. I want you to work your hips. I want you to work your pelvic floor. So I say you recline, keep the heels down, butt on the floor. We'll start by just canoeing, working side to side, and then we can just have the hands, if we want, working rotation. We could work from pocket, overhead, pocket, and then we can also lift the feet. Now, the workout today will be 2 sets, 10 lunges, 10 lunges, 10 lunges, 10 lunges, 10 windmill, 10 windmill, 10 windmill. You get the idea. 20 reps of each exercise. Now sometimes in our program we say 5 rounds, 4 rounds, as many rounds as possible in 10 minutes. Now it's up to you to choose your own adventure there. So if you want to set a timer for 10 minutes and go through it as many rounds as possible, that's a great way to save time and get a kick butt workout. Butt kick, kick butt, same thing. I'm going to go through 2 rounds. It'll probably take me less than 5 minutes. But you'll see some of the struggle I go through. You'll see me adapt. You'll see some good form. So follow along, and if you like this workout, I've designed it to be specific multi-segment exercises so that you're getting a lot done. And so it's not a total workout, but it's a great workout to have in conjunction to your walks, your runs, your bike rides. So try it out. I'm gonna get some music going. I'm gonna set up. Make sure maybe you have some water too. Take breaks when you need breaks, as I always say. Get water when you need water. All right. So I'm gonna grab a sip of my sparkling water. Can't live without that. I'm gonna find my favorite DJ. All right. Now I'm gonna grab my weight, because I'm gonna keep a weight in that goblet position for my lunges, and I'm gonna bob and weave this first set. All right, in 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna work side to side. Inhale. Exhale. Since I'm only doing a half movement and a half movement, I can take 1 breath per exercise. So the exercise would be both lunges, or I could take a breath and slow it down. So this is the bob and weave style. I might jazz it up with a high weighted windmill, but I'm gonna start off with a low. Keeping my weight low. Coming back to your breath. Big bends in the knees. And coming off from those lunges, I might need to take a break to breathe. So sticking with my workout, I'm gonna get 10 reps right, then 10 reps left. If you're super savvy, and you can work back and forth between the sides each time, like this, without dropping a weight on your floor, annoying your downstairs neighbors. Keep breathing. That's one thing I've had to be really cognizant of. I can't jump here. I can't jog in place. I don't need to be that neighbor. So the hips move a lot in this exercise, a big hinge in the hips. Right here, big extension in the hips. Right here, so the hips flex and the hips extend. All right, working into that forearm plank, tricep kickback. I'm gonna do all one side at a time. So I'm finding my elbow plank and I'm gonna rep it out. 10. All right. Working that other side. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Russian twists. All right. I'm going to start with my feet apart. Pocket. Overhead. Pocket. There's 2. 3. 4. 6. 8. 2 to go on this round. All right, round 2. Now this time, I'm going to work individual lunges. So I'm going to step out. 2. 3, I might actually work my balance and not have another step here. So I'll have 1 step, 1 step. So I do a partial leg swing. Almost there. All right, setting up for that other side. Stepping out. Oh, I'm feeling it coming back to that breath. Ten. All right. Working those windmills. Oh, I said I'd check out that overhead windmill, which I can do if I want. A lot harder. You gotta be more careful. And breathe. And you could also change from high to low. It only works on one side though. Home stretch. Working into that plank tricep kickback. 10 and 10. Here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Working that other side. Here we go. All right, ready for that final exercise? I'm gonna add a recline. Crisscross, pocket, overhead. Halfway. All right, that's my workout of the day. Maybe we wind it down with a few simple stretches like butterfly. If you're continuing on, continue on. Or if you just took the idea, turn off the video and you're not even seeing this now, that's fine too. All right, my butterfly is a forward fold. I'm working myself down over the feet. you might be up here. Might take a while. You can always rock your butterfly from the top. Working down. All right. Let's work into a seated forward fold. Shaking out our hamstrings, fluffing our pillows. We'll inhale up and we'll exhale towards the oh so tight feet. Oh, my hamstrings are tight. Relaxing the head and neck. Finding your breath. Few more deep breaths. All right, shake it out. Let's work into staff pose. And take the hands just behind my hips. I'm gonna sit up tall, lifting my chest, pushing out. I'm gonna relax. I'll work to my back. I'll do some gentle knee circles, first one direction. Back the other direction. All right, I'll give myself a little hug. Maybe I rock and roll. All right. Thanks for tuning in. There'll be some stretch videos with foam rolling to come up. Today also we'll have a live yoga class. It'll be live on YouTube, but it'll also be recorded and also probably live on Instagram. All right, see you next time.